Hey guys.
Hey, we actually did this already, and then we forgot to put the microphones
we weren't recording
on.
on the mics. Yeah.
Hey everyone, we're gonna jump right in because before we went on a whole rampage about how my hair froze this morning,
And
then camp.
you guys have been sharing your 20s moments. We've been seeing it. It's been awesome.
It has.
And we're going to share one today. And our topic today is burnout.
Yes.
And overwhelm.
Yes.
Because I'm overwhelmed.
I got this idea from one of my colleagues who's also in her 20s. So thank you for the idea.
Yeah. And I wanted to say that I'm employed. Fun update. Not that anyone cares, but I do.
It's very important and deep to her, so please give her some love.
And the irony of she got it right when she had resigned from, you were burnt out, actually.
Yeah, like on the topic of burnout, like
She'd reached her breaking point.
She really did.
I crashed out to my family, which I have many times over the summer. I'm trying to get a job. It's been 6 months, at least.
Ooh, we should do a poll of like, what's your crash out song?
Oh, okay.
For me,
sure.
it's Sparks.
Okay, sure.
God, that's awful.
Terrible.
Must get really sad.
Worse. Well,
I don't know if I have a crash out song.
But I just wanted to say quickly is that I crashed out and I was like, I can't send out job applications anymore. Like, I just can't. Like, I've been doing it like consistently, like every day for months. Like,
She got a job in retail.
I got a job in retail.
Did 3 training shifts.
Did 3
What happened at your
training
third shift?
And I was at my third shift doing my training, and I think it was actually at my second shift because I only had 3. And I had 1 after getting employed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was
Wow.
literally my second shift. I was doing my training, and all in one shift, I got 2 emails from 2 separate companies.
During the time of her shift. It was like between like 5 and
And
9:30.
I got home and I had to email both of them, and then the next week I got both of the jobs.
2
And when
part-times.
she-
Part time.
And when you left for your like third shift, I was like, hopefully it's your last. And it was.
I know. It was crazy.
We always joke
She
that,
liked
like,
the people at her retail job, but she just,
I'm very grateful for that.
it's
job.
not where her skill set is being the best used,
we always,
you know?
we
I'm
always,
very grateful for that job. It got me through like that brief period of like needing money and all that kind of thing. Very grateful.
I'm very happy for you. I'm so happy you got this before the holidays.
Yes.
We also joke
She's
that,
employed for the holidays.
Yay.
Know that if you're crashing out or burnt out, listen to yourself and maybe make a small adjustment, and I think things will come your way.
we always,
She was burnt out from applications.
we joke that like miracles happen after a crash out. I got a job after a crash out. Not that you should crash out before you get a job, but
She had too many crash outs though, thinking that
it's just a
something was
silver
going to change
lining
and then it
that
didn't. But
you can
then
reach your
also-
breaking point
but
and
also,
then
I had many crash outs where nothing did change, but I did like I was so stressed about money over the summer, and I wasn't really doing anything about it because I was like just thought I would get a job. So that's why I ended up getting a job in retail, because I was like, at least that will calm the part of my brain that is just like stressed about money, because it'll like help me bring in some extra buck. But as soon as I did that, I felt like it was like an energy shift, and then
it was.
it was.
Anyway, we're gonna get into our break.
We're also going to read out the results are in from our poll.
Wait, we got to share the 20s moment.
We'll share a 20s moment first, and then we're going to share with you a poll we did and the results on burnout.
Maverick has this terrible habit of trying to, he takes our slippers when I take them off my feet, and then he just like, I don't know, does weird stuff to them. Not that weird. That sounds worse than it is. Anyway, our 20s moment is someone said they're crashing out over grad school applications and they booked a solo trip.
It's pretty valid.
So
Very
if anyone has
20s.
any 20s moments, you can DM us. Or sometimes I put like a little question on our Instagram story
And we'll,
onto that, and we'll keep it
Yeah.
anonymous. I always say anonymous.
So we said, happy Saturday, divas. We're thinking of doing a M.A.E. chat on burnout. Tap for a little burnout quiz. And then we said, are you managing burnout or ignoring it? Our top answer was pretending I'm fine. Because we're all not
honestly,
fine.
like, yeah.
Second most answered was managing. And third was ignoring. Now, pretending I'm fine being the most popular is not ideal for us, all of us.
We're going to
divas.
talk about that today.
And then we said, which is harder right now? The most voted was starting a task. Second most voted was finishing a task. Third most voted was remembering the tasks even exist. And then, what do you think helps you reset? Our most answered was socializing. I agree. Actually,
I'm also kind of surprised about that.
I am too,
Socializing?
actually. Yeah.
I know.
When
And
I'm
then-
burnt out, I don't feel like socializing.
No, it's actually true. I don't feel like socializing either. But I find if I push myself to socialize, then I end up enjoying
You feel better
it.
after.
I feel better after.
Yeah, it's a push. But
And then we had the second most answered was hobbies. And then we had tied for third alone time and crying. So sorry about that.
sorry.
Your burnout cure right now. Most of us, it's time off.
Honestly, yeah.
With the holidays coming up, I can't wait.
Yeah.
And then tied for second, we've got sleep and a new job.
Wow.
I have a feeling I know who the new job people are. Looking at you. Or did you not have the job by this point?
No, that wasn't me.
Oh, it's other people. So yeah, I think what we're gathering from this survey is that we're not okay. If we were those people
we
on the
had-
street, you know that interviewer on the street where she goes, let's see if you're okay. I think everyone in their 20s would not be okay. And I think that's just part of it.
I had an I'm actually fine option on all of those polls.
And no one voted.
Said that they were.
No one said they were
actually
fine.
I think it's because we're not fine.
Oh man, I
I
had
know.
a 20s moment about burnout a couple of weeks ago, and I was feeling very, very overwhelmed. And I literally had a thought going into Monday. It was the weekend, and I was overwhelmed over the weekend too. Which, like, you're in burnout when you're overwhelmed over the weekend.
Yikes.
You're like, it just doesn't end. And I remember thinking, like, how am I going to mask my overwhelm when I go to work? And then that thought was like, I think I'm burnt out. I think I should maybe do something to feel
make
better, because
yourself
that
feel better.
thought
You do.
is not good. Well, that's when I discovered
Genuinely
like
curious.
vagus nerve massages that you can
Oh,
give
God.
yourself, like on TikTok if you search it up.
This
So
is
I was
not
like,
something
oh,
we
like,
can
it's
all
just
use
stressful.
and afford.
No, it's not a device. It was just massaging.
Oh, I thought she was talking
Yeah,
about
I was like,
advice
no,
she
it
got.
doesn't cost you anything. You just
She
go on
loves her
TikTok.
gadgets.
People can show you stuff,
Oh.
and that helped for a little bit. That definitely helps. Like, again, I think burnout and overwhelm is very complicated because it can be work, it can be your personal life, it can be a bit of both. Like,
And sometimes it's very hard to figure out what it is.
it's so
I
hard
was
to figure out
gonna-
what it
When
is.
I'm burning out or crashing out, I end up just feeling like everything's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
And then I start crying. And then it's like after you kind of like crash out, then you have clarity. And then you're like, oh, wait, it actually wasn't 20 things. It was like maybe one thing or two things
Yeah.
that were kind of
Actually,
compounding.
One thing that I did when I felt, that overwhelmed moment of being like, oh man, I need help. One thing I did that helped me get clear and figure out what was stressing me out was I would write down in a notebook. I'd like draw almost like a mind map, but like you can do it whatever way works for your brain. But I was basically wrote down like what's causing my overwhelm, like what's weighing me down right now. And it was like 10 different things. So yeah, of course you're going to be overwhelmed, but then when you put it on paper, you could see it visually.
Yes.
Then I was like, okay, which thing, how am I going to address, like, what do I want to address first? What can I do to address each thing? And then what are the action steps I can take? So one of the things that was burning me out was my skin. Like, I've been struggling with my skin. I never really struggled with my skin. It's been the past year.
really
I don't
stressing
even
her
know
out.
why, but it was really bad. So then I thought, okay, let's just address this thing first. Because it's also when you're in a state of overwhelm, it's important to focus on what can I actually control. Because if you focus on what you can't control, it's going to make you even more overwhelmed. So breaking that down, one of the things on my list, what can I control? Okay, well, what can I do to make my skin better? So I started to research, like I recently came across a video about how using non-comedogenic makeup and skincare can help make your skin better. So I audited there's like a website I can share if anyone wants that tells you
My girl
whether or
goes
not what
deep.
you currently are using is non-comedogenic. So I realized that I was actually using a lot of makeup and skincare that was comedogenic, hence creating more breakouts. So I made that change. I actually was able to time it with a Sephora sale. So I was able to get some stuff like on sale, which is good. And then I started using that, and now my skin has gotten better.
Yeah.
So that's one stress thing
I'm
off my
gonna
plate and getting better.
I'm
and
gonna
that's kind of my
explain
process.
how
Yeah.
I deal with overwhelm as well. It's similar.
Yeah.
Where I had to learn how to do this because I work at a very fast-paced job, and sometimes the tasks they just
Pile up.
they pile up. So what I do is in my calendar, my Google Calendar for work, I have literally any thought or anything that I have to do, however big or small, becomes a task in my calendar. Because those tasks, if you don't get it done that day, you just slide it over to the next day. And if it doesn't need to get done that day, then that's fine. If it's something that's like due that day, then obviously get it done. But I have like literally like my calendar actually looks kind of ridiculous. It's like literally like just tasks.
Sorry, I wasn't reacting to you. My mom just made a funny noise.
I don't
Okay.
think they're gonna hear that.
But the tasks, they help me just like put everything on not paper but on my computer screen, and it's like I just click through them, and then once it's done you can also cross them out. I'm a big Google Calendar gal. Feels really good. And then I find I have to put myself in like this in a zen state sometimes, because if I have a lot to do, I found this when I first started my job, and then I've developed like a habit of not doing this. But when I first started, once I had like a lot to do and I had a lot on my plate for one day, I'd almost enter this like panic state. And then you're so panicked, you actually can't get the work that you need to get done. You can't get it done. And then it's also just it's not good. It's not helpful. You're stressed and you feel burnt out by the end of the day. And you're just like, you've just exhausted, I feel like, so much energy. Whereas now, even if I'm like feel myself getting stressed or overwhelmed, I just like calm myself back down. I like talk to myself in my head. I don't do it out loud. You guys can't hear me. I talk to myself in my head. I'm just like, okay, calm down. You're going to get this done, and just like focus on one task at a time. Just take it one task at a time.
And coworker have this thing that you guys say all the time.
Yes.
Where you say we have
food on our tables. No one's going to die if we don't get this email out or whatever it is. No one's going to die. Everything's going to be okay. And I find that helps me and my coworker. I think we both just say that to each other a lot if we're feeling overwhelmed. Just be like, okay, you know what? Let's take this from a 10 and bring it down to like a 2. Like it really isn't. It's okay, and you still get the work done. It's not about being like.
That's something in our family we say.
Yeah.
Like, what is it out of 10? Like.
Yeah.
But sending an email, like, okay, yes, it's for work, but it's a 2 out of 10.
Yeah.
And get it out and then move on. Like a 10 out of 10 is like life or death.
Yes.
So, like,
to me, 10 out of 10 is if
but
someone's gonna die.
I think the thing that's hard about burnout, and when I watched a TikTok video about resetting your nervous system, they actually broke it down really well. And one of the things they talked about when you're in a state of overwhelm, they call it like, okay, so say when you're calm and you feel like focused and happy and like yourself, this is the opposite of burnout state. That's your green zone. That's your zone where you feel like yourself. And then the zone above that is the fight or flight zone, which is like the like orangish red zone. So that's where you're like in a state of anger, you're in a state of fear. Mm-hmm. Which is like normal. Again, like everyone, it's normal to move through those things throughout the day.
It's normal to have
and
your
then,
ups and downs.
Right. And then even further than that is an overwhelmed state, which is the blue zone, which is actually when you go into shutdown mode. And that's really when you're past, that's burnout. That's when you are past your breaking point. And when that video broke that down for me, I was like, oh, that's what made me realize I was in a state of overwhelm. And that just made things really clear. So even just the awareness of it, like you can ask yourself, like, okay, am I just fearful? Am I mad?
I'm also
am I
say,
like shutting down?
I'm also
What's
going
going
to say that
on?
I low-key almost shut down a few times.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh wait, everything's fine.
I'm also going to say that depending on who you are, like,
Different things are gonna work. Yeah.
Yes.
And, like for me, I could in my head try to figure out what was making me burn out, but I was never clear until I talked to my loved ones. And just kind of like talked it out with them. And like I'm very grateful that you guys were very patient with me, but like I just kind of had to like vent everything out. And then as I was kind of like venting about things that I thought were the problem and things that I wasn't sure if it was the problem, and then suddenly I was like, okay, wait, like while I was talking about it, I was like, okay, wait, actually maybe that's not the problem. I think it's this thing.
Yeah.
And then you kind of like become more focused on what the actual problem is, and then you can actually start to make some kind of change. But like for me, like I kept trying to figure it out in my head first, and it just like wasn't, like I just couldn't figure out what it was.
Yeah.
And then suddenly it just turned into like everything was wrong.
And another thing I want to share is like, what do you do when nothing works, right? Because I recently had that where, you know, you work, like I work out, I eat healthy, I go for a walk, I do my vagus nerve reset, I put my legs on the wall, I have a heating pad. Like I literally was trying, I meditated, you know, like all the usual things just were not working. And so then what do you do then? And I think one of the things that really helps me is you seek comfort. So you do things that are comfortable. Like I had a heating pad on my stomach because I read that helps calm you down. And it took me, like I had a heating pad on my stomach for a couple hours and that helped calm me down. Or like de-stimulating yourself, like reading or like talking to loved ones, like what, or petting your dog or your cat or whoever. Like, I think
Sometimes I walk over to my dog and I
Yeah.
make him give me a hug.
I think the hard
when in
thing,
doubt,
yeah,
like I know this, people probably heard this before, but like don't go to your phone.
no.
That is the last
No.
thing you should do when you are not feeling well.
Even getting lost on ChatGPT,
yeah, even
like
if you
don't.
think, even if you
do
think
that.
a
I am
TikTok
guilty of
scroll,
that.
I can tell that one hit close
Even if you think a
for you.
TikTok scroll or an Instagram scroll or all that kind of stuff is going to help you, I can guarantee you it won't.
If you're already overwhelmed, that's gonna add to the overwhelm.
Yeah.
You
I
want
just
to
think
take
seeking,
things
like,
true.
away.
real things like connection, hobbies, like
Yeah.
things like that.
Journaling.
I
like,
always
whatever.
have a very
Yeah.
chill book on the go.
Yeah.
I always have at least one chill book on the go.
You know,
So I
poke
can
your
read it.
sibling and get them rambunctious, you know, like rage bait your sibling.
Actually, Ava and
Rage.
I, actually all of us do this to each other. We'll literally go up to each other and be like, hey, like, hello, I want to talk to you. And then
The other
we'll
night,
put our phones down or computers down or whatever if we're not working and just have a little chat.
The other night,
Shoot the shit a little.
Yeah, the other night I literally sat down. I'd had like a really crazy busy day. It was like one of the days that like I started one of my jobs. And I didn't stop working until like 9 p.m. or something. And then I sat down and I just said to my family, I was like, I need someone to like give me a pat on the back. Like I was just like,
Yeah.
because I was like to myself, I was like, good job today. But I was like,
She's like, she needs it to come from an
She needs to
external.
come from someone else.
And
I think it's
entity.
communication too, right? Like,
and they're like,
tell
hey, honey,
people.
You did a great job. I was like, thank you.
even like someone I worked with who like I report to them and like they told me once like, oh yeah, like the founder's really happy with what you're doing. And I was like, that's great. And then like the next time we had a meeting, I was like, because we like ask and give feedback on stuff. I was like, anytime I get good feedback, tell me, because that helps fuel me. And like,
Yeah.
especially when you're,
It does.
you know, crashing out or not feeling good, like those things can help pull you through of like reminders of like, okay, everything's okay. Like
And-
it's going to be fine.
And that's a lesson.
Like,
Yeah, and that's a lesson I honestly take as well, just as a human, is if you think something kind about someone, just say it.
yeah,
Sometimes
for
people
sure.
need it. Like people have said
Yeah.
stuff to
It
me
also makes
before.
you feel good when you
Yeah.
compliment, like give people kindness.
Yeah.
It actually
Like, I
makes
just
you feel
think
good too.
I have
Yeah.
a
Scientifically
rule, I have
speaking.
a rule with myself from like if I think it and it's kind, say it.
Yeah.
Um,
You're not hurting
You're
anybody.
not hurting
No.
anyone.
Like-
and listen, sometimes it doesn't, like, you don't get a good response. Like
I know.
There's been girls like I compliment their outfits and I just get a like a this and I'm like, oh.
You're like, oh gosh.
Yeah, it's a whole other conversation.
A whole other conversation, but I'm just gonna
Yeah,
say it. Always
we're a
feels
big
better to
believer.
just say it, and then more
If you're
often than
saying-
not, people respond well, and sometimes they need it. I know people have said things to me before where I'm like, wow, I needed that today.
Yeah. No, it's true.
It's like how you say, like, if you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. But if you do have something nice to say, then
say it.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
though, last thing about burnout, what I think helps me not burn out as well is that as soon as 5 o'clock hits or as soon as I close my computer for work, don't think about it. Try your very best not to think about it because you're also actually like, I remember when I was burnt out in the summer, it was because it was like I'd work and then I'd think about work. And then like by the time I was at work again, it felt like I didn't have any time off.
Yeah.
And like those evenings between 5 and
It's
I
your
go to bed at, like,
reset time. Yeah.
It's your reset time. And if you don't use that time to reset, then you are going to burn
So
out.
don't feel bad if you're watching TV
That's
for
because
whatever.
we work 9 to
like,
5. I don't know about
Well,
people
we
who
also
work
work-
different types
well,
of shifts.
let's
But if you have time off, don't try to like really unplug and not and do
Whenever-
something and that you know
Whenever
fuels
your
you.
unplug window is, because even for us, like we work 9 to 5 jobs, but then we also have 5 to 9, like running the podcast, screenwriting. Like
Yeah.
we are not like 5 to 9 is not like we're doing nothing. Like usually we're decompressing by 8, 9 o'clock.
At this point, screenwriting is part of my decompressing
Yeah.
process.
Well, yeah, that's true for us, but I think
That's because I love it a little too much. But anyway, I hope this was helpful.
Yeah, I hope this was helpful.
And
all.
like also this doesn't replace any advice you would get from a mental health professional. So
Literally.
if you need a mental
This
health
is just
professional,
our
like
our
I was
findings.
feeling really burnt out a couple weeks ago to the point where I was like, this has lasted now for weeks and weeks on end. This is not situational. This is something that is beyond just everyday stress. I was like, I'm going to go to therapy, and I have a therapy session this week. So like, don't be afraid to capitalize, especially if you have access to that. If there's something for free you can get.
If your work
Like
covers
I
it.
have like my work benefits luckily cover therapy. So like I'm going to capitalize on that. Like find things that can help you and maximize on those, because you're not just a one person show when it comes to burnout. use the resources available to you, even if that's friends and family, talking to them, whatever that looks like for you, just use it because it's there to help you.
I found, again, talking to people that you love and trust and like respect their opinion, that really helped me with my burnout situation and like get clarity.
Yeah.
But again, everyone's going to be different and you just have to find the thing that works for you. And
Yeah. And also don't be concerned if like burnout can be, burnout is something that gradually happens usually. I think from my understanding, I'm no expert on burnout, but in my experience, that's what I've noticed. But it also is gradual to get out of sometimes. So if you're doing all the things, you're like, oh, it's not working. Like, why am I not? Like, just recognize that it's going to take time and to be mindful of like for me, like I'll think about like, how do I feel today on a scale of 0 to 10? Okay, well today, my burnout day, I was at 50%. And then after doing a couple things that help, now my burnout is now I'm feeling, instead of 50%, I feel 60%. And then the next day I feel 70%. So if like it's gradually going up, even if it goes down one day, but then goes up again, that's a good sign that you're on the right track and that things are working. So just check in with yourself.
I saw something recently that was actually someone talking about heartbreak, oddly enough, but I feel like it actually applies to this because it was just about someone gradually getting back on track. And they just said it's the small consistencies. It's eat, take care of yourself, sleep. Like,
for sure.
Focus on those things. Do things you love. Connect
That's a
with
big
people
thing.
you love. Like those are all small things that like if you focus on those things over time, you'll just naturally.
Yeah, and I think it's also a time to recognize like this is not a time for perfection. Like if you're just barely getting by, putting on like minimal, like putting your hair together minimally, doing your makeup minimally, like just barely making your bed, maybe your room's a mess, like just be patient. I think patience is a big thing. Like be patient with yourself. Like this is a step-by-step journey.
Yes,
it's not going to change overnight and you will get back to your set point.
Yeah.
And I think also what's important about burnout is that when you take the steps to take care of yourself and treat it as something, as a learning experience, as something to learn from, you're more equipped to prevent that in the future because now you have the tools you've learned from this experience so that it gives value. It's not just this shitty thing that happened. It's something that you can learn from and take care of yourself in the future and go forward from. That's how I treat it as well because it does feel very derailing and frustrating and like, oh, I just want to feel back to myself again. But I think that it's something that when you're in that valley, it's something that you can learn from and hopefully take away what you're learning in that moment.
That was my silver lining during my tough times in the past 6 months was just like, I'm learning something from this. And again, you don't always know what you're learning in the moment, but you'll figure it out after.
Yeah.
And just know that it's all normal and your best is enough.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's like the essence of transforming through your 20s, transforming through burnout. Like that's a big lesson. And honestly, it's hard to learn now, but better to learn it now.
Yeah.
And figure it out
For
now
sure.
as hard as it is.
We're going to wrap this up.
I hope you enjoyed this.
Yes.
And let us know any of your burnout tips. Let us know what you'd like us to talk about
This is
next.
a conversation.
Let us know if any of this was helpful.
Yeah.
If we missed anything.
Yeah.
And we can do another part 2 if anyone wants it. And yeah, just sending everyone much love.
Hang in there, divas.
Hang in there, divas.
Hang in.
We're all in this together.
Oh gosh, no, we're not singing that. Bye.